Pokemon Home was released on February 12th, 2020. It's a program that allows you to store all your Pokemon from Ruby and Sapphire onwards. Additionally, for those who managed to catch them all at the time, they would be rewarded with an original color Magearna. 2 years later, Scarlet and Violet were announced and eventually released. Following this, I got my original color Magearna, but never grinded out the Paldea deck since there was literally no point. Well, thankfully, in October 2024, Game Freak added a point. Now, if you completed all 3 Paldea Pokedexes, those being the Paldea, Kitakami, and Blueberry Pokedexes, you would receive a shiny Meloetta, which is amazing. If you don't know, the reason this is so cool is because before this reward was added to Home, shiny Meloetta was actually illegal. It was impossible to obtain shiny Meloetta legitimately before the reward was added to Pokemon Home. Then, January 28th, 2025. Pokemon Home went down for maintenance and added 2 more Pokedex completion rewards. Firstly, if you completed the Hisui Pokedex, you would get a shiny Enamorus, which is also the first time you can get Enamorus shiny since it was shiny locked in Legends Arceus. And finally, shiny Manaphy. Before that fateful January day, the only way to get a legal shiny Manaphy was to beat Pokemon Ranger, get the Manaphy egg, transfer it to a Gen 4 game, spend time hatching it, and then hope you get the 1 in 8,192 chance of it being shiny. So it's basically impossible to get a shiny Manaphy. But now we have an even worse method. Now you can just complete the Pokedex in Brilliant Diamond or Shiny Pearl to get a shiny Manaphy. You can't just have a living Sinnoh dex, I learned that the hard way. You have to actually have a complete dex of a Pokemon whose game of origin is Brilliant Diamond or Shining Pearl. While I was making this video, Pokemon Home went down for maintenance again, and Game Freak added rewards for finishing the Galar Dex with DLC and the Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee Pokedexes. For finishing the Galar Dexes, you get a shiny Keldeo, which makes sense since you can catch it in the Crown Tundra, and for finishing the Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee Pokedexes, you get a shiny Meltan, which doesn't really make sense, but it kind of does at the same time, because you can transfer Meltan from Pokemon Go to Pokemon Let's Go. Now hear me out, guys. What if Game Freak starts doing this for every future game? What if Game Freak uses the system to make it so that Pokemon that have been shiny locked or had unused forms can be attained through completing new dexes? My prediction for Legends ZA's Home Dex completion reward is that we will finally be able to get AZ's Eternal Floette with Light of Ruin. Additionally, what if we finally get shiny Victini as the reward for finishing the dex for the Unova remakes? Victini is my favorite Pokemon, so I would really like that.